Hey y'all. All right, we're back now. How you guys doing? We are in chapter 4, still the book of Noah. Isaiah was just killed. You got to go to the video before this. Um, his grandfather was just killed. And so now here we are, chapter 4, the heartache of Noah. Noah, when he received word of the death of Isaiah, was 28 years of age. He was married and had two children, a boy and a girl. His wife's name was Shema, after the ancient Nazarene matriarch of joy. For behold, like Shema of old, she was very joyful, even in hard times. She was Noah's second wife, for his first marriage had ended in blessed parting after 1 year. Noah's son was 4 years of age and was named Abidel after the ancient Nazarene patriarch. And his daughter was 3 and was named Isha after the ancient Nazarene matriarch. Also, Nechemah, Noah's mother, lived in the home of Noah, and the love of Noah for his family was beyond measure. Lo, Noah was greatly saddened upon the news of his grandfather's death, for behold, Isaiah had been like a father to him. But Shemat, his wife of Noah, comforted him. She said, Holy Isaiah has ascended unto El Cush. Yes, it was his time. I'll put this in the footnote, or you guys can pause it. Even so, Noah grieved. On account of the small number of surviving Nazarenes, even Noah the Yair worked as a farmer to support his family, and the Nazarene mother temple was but a room in his home where a dozen members or so gathered each week, for to gather in great numbers would attract the attention of the Kenite soldiers. And in other regions of this land and other lands, small numbers of Nazarenes still survived and gathered each week in houses for congregational worship. Congregational worship. Their total number was perhaps a few hundred, but no more than a dozen or so in any town. And for most, their main contact with the Mother Temple was a monthly epistle written by the Yair. Yea, the epistle was carried and delivered to the scattered congregations by the Nazarene lions, the surviving remnant of the Shevet Ariach. Shortly after the death of Isaiah, Noah went to the mountains to fast and pray. In his absence, his wife Shemah, a Nazarene priestess, would lead the weekly service at the Mother Temple. But lo, while fasting and praying in the mountains, Noah had a feeling that something terrible had happened at home. And so he hiked back down the mountain and returned to his farm. But he was too late. For behold, Kenites had attacked his home, which was the Mother Temple, while the weekly gathering was being held. All of the Nazarenes present were slaughtered, including Noah's wife and children. All that remained of his family and friends were their charred bones. Noah was devastated. Lo, as Noah bent over the bones of his family, weeping tears of sorrow, more bad news arrived. The leader of the lions of Zion, a prophet named Ezekiel, arrived and informed Noah that this had been a coordinated attack on nearly all of the scattered congregations. Yea, the entire Nazarene movement, already of small number, was now mostly extinct. For behold, the public preaching of Isaiah had alerted Lucifer to the continued existence of the Nazarenes, and over the 7 year period of Isaiah's public preaching, the Canaanites had managed to infiltrate the Nazarene network and discover the location of most of the weekly meeting places. And now they had simultaneously attacked each of those meeting places, slaughtering most of the remaining Nazareans. Noah was devastated. He knew from his spiritual training that his departed loved ones would ascend unto El Cush, but he still sank into deep depression. He blamed himself for the deaths of his family and friends. Yea, he blamed himself for the demise of the entire Nazarene nation. For several days he mourned, unable to eat or sleep. Then he went to the camp of Ezekiel and said, I hereby resign the office of Yair. But note, y'all should read it. I'll try to put it in the description. I have no desire to live and am no longer fit to serve. Brushing aside Ezekiel's words of protest, Noah took off his pendant, which was the symbol of the office of Yair, and gave it to Ezekiel. Noah said, If there be any surviving Nazarenes, let them choose another Yair. I am not worthy, and hereby resign. Chapter 5, More Heartache for Noah. Noah wandered for many months. He walked as fast and far as his legs could carry him. He had no destination but away. He wanted to be as far away from the painful memories of his burned home as possible. But no matter how far he walked, the memories kept him company. One day in a distant land, he slept in a cornfield. When he woke, he was hungry. He ate a few ears of corn, and then the owner of the corn field found him and said, "You ate my corn, so you owe me work. As it happens, I am in need of a worker to help me bring in this harvest. Will you help?" Noah replied. Noah helped. And when the work was done, the man said to him, "You're a good worker. If you will stay on, you may have an extra cabin on my land and a weekly wages." Noah agreed, for he was tired of aimless walking and liked this old man. The old man was named Shamani, and he lived there in a large house with his granddaughter and her son. His granddaughter was about the age of Noah. She was a widow, for robbers had killed her husband. Her name was Shemitah, and she had a son, Jozabad, age 4. Shamin, Shamani, Shemitah, and Jozabad lived in the big house, and next to them, as their hired worker, Noah lived in a small cabin. For many years, Noah lived with these people. He tried not to think of religion or his former life as a priest, for those memories were too painful. Instead, he just desired to be a normal man, to work hard and to forget. He remained vegetarian but began to drink a lot of wine, for lo, the wine helped him forget. He never met any Nazarenes and supposed nearly all of them dead. Okay. At first he performed his private devotions, but never spoke of them to his new family. For lo, if they were to become Nazarene, it would mark them for death, as it had his first family. After a couple years, he had begun drinking more and more wine. Noah ceased to keep even his private devotions, for behold, his desire was to just be a man and to forget. After 5 years, Noah married Shemitah. He had no desire himself for marriage, but content consented to the plea of Shemitah. For behold, though he had desired no happiness for himself in this world, and though Shamak was his one true love, that was his first wife, he knew that this marriage would make Shemitah and young Jozabad very happy. And since he cared nothing for his own life, why not make her and the boy happy? After all, he had grown to love them over the years. Why not make them happy? After 7 years, Noah remembered little of his past, and that was on purpose. With the help of the wine, he blocked his former life from his mind. It was just too painful to think about, and now he had a new life. He had succeeded in becoming just a normal man with normal concerns. He was not particularly happy, but he had become successfully numb. From from time to time he would hear tales of great evil spreading through the land. Yea, he would hear of great abominations coming forth from the land, from the island of Attila. Sometimes he would even see such things with his own eyes, and he would hear of unthinkable atrocities attributed to the Canaanites and other cannibals. But always he would say, "I am just one man and can do nothing." Then he would drink some wine and try not to think about it. But behold, 7 years after losing his first family, Noah lost his second family. The old man, Shamani, had taken ill. Noah loaded him in a wagon and took him to the nearest town where there was a healer of high repute. The healer revived Shamani, but when Noah and Shamani returned to their family, lo, they found it burned to the ground. Or returned to their farm, and Shemitah and Jozabed were dead victims of the Canaanites. Old Shamani took one look at the bodies and then dropped dead of a heart attack. Noah decided he no longer wished to live, having lost 2 families and many friends to violence. His will to live was gone. He had suffered too much pain in this life, and his grief was unbearable. Even his attempt to just be a normal man had failed. This world was too evil to live in. Behold, he would go jump off a cliff. He grabbed a flask of wine that survived the fire and then walked into the mountains. He came to a high cliff overlooking a river. He decided to drink the flask of wine and then jump off the cliff. He drank the entire flask of wine, but instead of throwing himself over the cliff, he laid down on his back and gazed up at the stars. He asked, "Who am I?" He wondered, "What is my purpose?" He moaned, "I feel that I have gone astray." He prayed, "Jah and Elohim, reveal to me the meaning of my life. For if the meaning of my life is not but the lesson of losing all who I hold dear, I will quit life But if there is some purpose for my life besides pain and heartbreak, let it be revealed. Yea, if you can use me, as pitiful as I have become, to do any good in this evil world, use me. Forgive me for straying from the path in my despair. I wish I were stronger, but I am weak, and now I am broken. Then he contemplated the stars and fell asleep. All right, chapter 6, Noah's dream. Okay, so we're going to stop this here, and we're going to pick it on up in chapter 6. Guys, stay with me. It's going to get really good. It's already good. And all right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.